every time he comes on. So, yeah, you're right, mate. When these players aren't missing, you kind of think maybe it's just a few cans short of a six-pack. The whole team doesn't get their good run going on, but that's the way it is in a World Cup year. And I think every World Cup year we're just going to have to get used to it. And it gives the opportunities for these new guys coming on through to show why they deserve a super franchise. Doesn't matter what team it is, whether it's here, South Africa or Australia. They've just got to pick it up. And if they come short of it, look, it's only 5-point loss. A loss is a loss. They get a bonus point. But, yeah, you're right. It is going to have an effect, and that's just the way this year will run out with Super Rugby on all teams. So
yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm like you. I'm not a fan of it, but I think that's just something we're going to have to get used to going forward, mate.
I don't think I'll ever get used to it there, Reno. Something tells me I'm not going to get used to it. In my opinion,
you and I won't, and a lot of the fans won't. But it's just something we're going to have to, I suppose, come to grips with, mate, and get used to just the way it's moving. Yep. Yeah, it's a whole new generation game, Me, you, and JT, we're from the years of the old school, the hard knock stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just all changed. Everything's changed over the years.
I know, and I understand why it changes. I understand it. But in my opinion, you should play your All Blacks. Your best players should be playing. If they get injured, well, that's just part of the game. I mean, it happens. We've got plenty, in my opinion, and we discussed this on Wednesday, we've got plenty of depth there. And it's not like back in 2011 we had, we had injuries galore. We had injuries galore, but we still were able to win that World Cup, and it was due to our depth that we had over the years. And I don't think this is. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is a good thing. Maybe it's not. We'll never know. At the end of the day, I know Ra Walker will say, as long as we win that World Cup at the end of this year, I mean, that's what matters the most. But yeah, I don't like it. Either way, whatever people say, I don't like it. Reno?
Yeah, you should become a politician, mate. Become a politician.
I don't think so.
But yeah, Ra is right, mate. It's the William Webb Ellis Trophy, and that's all it is. That's all it's focused on. Yeah. And forget about. No one will talk about the Ireland losses last year, or no one will talk about Super Rugby, who won that. Once you're into that mold from September through to November 2nd, that's all it's going to be focused on for most, for Rugby Mad Nation country like us here, that's all they're going to worry about. So you don't even see many people at the games these days.
That's right.
You don't even get people watching a lot of the Super Rugby on telly these days. So they're just focused and waiting for one thing, and that's the hopefully a three-peat for the ABs. But that's another story, mate. We'll get to there. Yeah. It's a long way yet.
Now, the Jaguares also, they go up against the Blues. The Blues smarting off a loss, They had a very promising start to the season. They were knocked back last week, of course, back to reality, I guess it was. But it's going to be a tough game for the Blues over there in Argentina, eh?
Yeah, it will be, mate. They'll come out firing the old Argies as they do. The crowd does, and I think the Blues to help out Leon McDonald, who's coaching there, and obviously a few of the other hierarchy behind the scene. They need to come away with the win. The pressure's on the Blues. They need to come home with something.
Yeah, exactly. Now, JT, I know the NRL, and I'm pretty sure that you must be getting ready for it. That's going to be coming along in a couple of weeks, is it?
Yeah, mate, March the 14th, Thursday. So a couple of weeks away, the first matches between my side, the Storm, and the Broncos down in Melbourne. So, yeah, not too far away. And thank goodness, because it's been the off-season from hell with all the off-field drama. And that finally had came to some sort of resolution earlier in the week with Todd Greenberg announcing different sanctions and penalties against various players involved in different scandals over the period. So, yeah, looking forward to some footies, a bit of some trials on over the next couple of days, and then, we're into it. Lock yourself in and boom, we're away.
Yeah, I know. Looking forward to it. You must be looking forward to the up-and-coming season in the NRL, Reno?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm same as JT. I miss it, I watch a little bit of Super League stuff. Just doesn't cut the mustard for me. Enjoy the Indigenous stuff, and let the excitement come on in a couple of weeks. And I know the Warrior boys are up in Whangarei, and Benji and the whānau up there as well. The Tigers are in town. Pre-season's gone all pretty good, so everything's working out well for them. everyone rang up, hey, your bloody Warriors beat the Storm last week. Who cares? It's only pre-season. It's nothing, So wait till the big game starts and then it'll all change around. But everyone's working it out, giving the young guys a bit of a run, mate. Another season ahead for them. Steve Kearney signed up to 2022 and welcome to 2019, I would guess, in a few weeks. I'm excited and can't wait and look forward to mid-season with Origin. And then the ladies come out to play. I see we got international series confirmed in October now. So, mate. Countdown 2 weeks. Look forward to it.
You are right, though, JT. There has been a bit of off-field shenanigans, I suppose, going on, which, I don't know why people tend to focus on it, but they certainly do, eh?
Yeah, I think what's happened is they've announced some new rules. So they've only just announced those earlier this week. Right. And to my way of thinking, a lot of the offences, particularly the Dylan Napa one, was from 5 years ago.
Right.
So those not familiar with what happened there, he was filmed having sex with a female. Nothing illegal with that, about that. I'm sure we've all got tapes of those in the side drawers, haven't we? Or was it just me? Oh, okay. So,
magazines, bro. Magazines. Good old magazines.
He's been pinged, I think it's 10% of his salary for this year. I just think it's a bit off. He's done nothing wrong. He didn't even put the video footage out there. Someone else did, and it's just a bit strange that he's been pinged since he's left the Roosters. Everyone that knows rugby league knows the Roosters have quite a bit of leverage in terms of the NRL with their boss Nick.
Right.
Nick, the Greek fella. So look, I just think it's a bit sick. Scott Bolton, he's been pinged. 5% of his salary for this year, and he's also had to go and talk to different all the club captains and address them and try and sway the players and about what his situation and try and talk to them about doing that sort of stuff. He got done for indecent assault last year. Dylan Walker, another player, his case is still before the jury, so he's probably going to be deregistered apparently. Jack de Belin is up on sexual allegation charges, and he has been told that he's not allowed to play. So it's a bit funny, mate. These new rule changes. I think they've split the rugby league community down the middle, particularly the Dylan Napa one. That's the one I'm disappointed with the most. He's done nothing wrong, nothing illegal, and he's been sort of hung out to dry, I think.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like that. Anyway, we'll talk about it more after the break here on Fooled. On behalf of the full-timers, I would just like to say big thanks to Joachim Currid, who brings us our music intro. Check him out on joachimcurrid.com. He's also on YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Spotify, Instagram, and follow him on Facebook. Another big thanks goes out to Silent Partner, who brings us our outro. Check out their music on YouTube. And also thanks must go to the Polish Ambassador for the backing music for this promo. Check out the Polish Ambassador on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Beatport, Instagram, Twitter, and on his website, thepolishambassador.com.
You're listening to a podcast produced by Tūrangi FM, #1 iwi radio station in Aotearoa. We play each full-time session on Tūrangi FM Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. You can listen in live on our Tūrangi FM media page. Just click the main Tūrangi FM logo to tune in online. Or if you're in the Gisborne area, we're on the radio frequencies 91.7, 95.7 and 98.1. Also check out the Full-Time Facebook page where you can listen to the podcast again. Make comments and click links that will lead you to other ways to listen to the podcast, such as Spreaker, iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, Podchaser and Tumblr. Right, let's get back to the Fools on Full-Time.
back into our second session here on Full-Time. I want to send another shout out going out to the to Racetrack Motors. Of course, they're our sponsors down there on Grace Street. Go and check them out. Now, before we get back into it, just want to send another shout out going out to my whānau, the Niwa Painga whānau. They've kind of going, a number of them are anyway, going out on the Wakahoi, like that double hull waka that is out on the bay today. We also have set up that our whānau go out there next week, and I'll be hopefully being able to jump out onto the ocean next week. So I want to send a big kia ora going out to the whānau, going out on the waka, going to do a bit of sailing. Anyway, back into full-time. So tell me, what else has been happening with rugby league? I mean, in my opinion, I think what Napa did, it's like you said, JT. It's just really, it's not illegal. How can they even get away with, fining him and giving him the, it's just stupid in my opinion. And I dare say a lot of other rugby league people's opinions too.
Oh, look, you got the righteous do-gooders out there who probably take offence to it, but he's done nothing illegal. And the thing that's really annoyed me was that the dance would have been suspended for a period of time.
Yeah.
So he's with a new club, and the poor Bulldogs have paid, big good money to get him across to their club.
Yeah.
And they're going to be punished for something they had nothing to do with, which was out of their hands, out of his hands too. So, I mean, he's not going to be suspended any game time, but still to be stung 10% of your salary for the year. Exactly. I mean, if that was you, Keith, you're on what, $500 grand a year, $50
That's a lot, mate.
Salary. That you'd have to lose, so you'd have to probably leave the Bentley parked up for the rest of the year.
Oh,
mate.
Yeah, that'll be terrible. Terrible. Might have to walk to work. But I just don't...
If it was Keith, he would have been the number one downloaded movie of all time.
Somehow I doubt that, but yeah, thanks for that, Reno. But I don't know, man. I don't know what the heck is going on in this world when people are getting stung for things that aren't even illegal. I mean, there's something wrong in this world when things like that happen, JT?
Oh, absolutely, Keith. People get offended at the most ridiculous things these days, and it just irks me and makes me want to cry.
Right. Now, one of the things we were talking about during the break, Reno, was is it the Pacific Islanders have been, what is it this year, looking at maybe boycotting the World Cup? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll just rewind it up to what it actually is. It's a whole new proposal of what they're going to call the World League. So it's all the rugby big guns coming together. So obviously the Northern Hemisphere, we know they have the Six Nations up there. Mm-hmm. We know we have our international series down here in the Southern Hemisphere. Obviously that's us, Australia, South Africa and Argentina. What they're wanting to do is to collaborate the two together as an umbrella of the World League. Again, using that name league, I don't know why they used it, but that's what they want to call it. And it's where the Six Nations will play against the international games. That will happen every 3 years, not a World Cup year. And obviously everyone's thinking to themselves, well, where does the Pacific Island nations come into this? So there has been a stance on this from the New Zealand Rugby Union. Captain Kieran Reid for the All Blacks is against it, and a few of the Super Rugby players and the general public here in Aotearoa, they're not all for the World League to come together, obviously. I think the damning report, though, what's come out and released from this is that word missing Pacific Island teams. The nations, earlier on you asked me a bit about what's happening there. Hey, it's all to do with the Pacific Island players. Now, you got to feel sorry for them because they've been trying to get a team into our Super Rugby comp and into mini comps over the years gone by. I enjoy watching the Pacific Island teams play like everyone else does, but not to be included or anywhere. They're going to be excluded. Fiji, Samoa, Tonga. Yeah. So the call out now for the Global League is for these nations to, as they would say, mull, or better known word, boycott this year's Rugby World Cup. That is currently in the plan at the moment. So it's kind of turned the World Cup that's going to be happening in September up in the air, mate, because we may not have a Pacific Ireland team playing in that World Cup, 3 of them. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Well, this is an